Many people talk about debt collectors and bailiffs in the same breath as though they are the same thing, but that's not quite true. There are some very important differences which I'll tell you in this video. Well, first of all, starting with bailiffs, they're actually formally known as enforcement agents, although many people still call them bailiffs. They have a legal power to collect certain types of debt. Some may be self-employed, some work for companies, and some may be working for the council. Bailiffs are typically charged to collect county court judgment, council tax, child maintenance fees, and parking fines. Many people think that they can just put a notice on their door to say that they are not welcome. This isn't true. Bailiffs have a legal right to visit your premises, and they can sell goods that they recover from your home to pay for the debts. This is where the stark difference between a bailiff and a debt collector comes in, because the term itself seems to be a little bit confusing. A debt collector may seem on the surface very much the same as a bailiff, but in fact it isn't. If you get a letter from your lender or the debt collection agency, that will be to tell you that a debt collector is going to visit the property to try to create an arrangement with you to repay the debt. The stark difference being there is no legal right to visit your property, and unlike bailiffs, debt collectors cannot remove any goods from your premises without your permission to sell them, just like a bailiff can. In other words, a debt collector visiting your property is just trying to strike up an agreement with you to repay the debt. Of course, if it's a legitimate debt and it's going against your credit rating, it's probably in your best interest to come up with some kind of arrangement so that it stops the damage to your credit rating. But other than that, without your agreement, there's not much else they can do. Very often, debt collectors are sent out to collect utilities arrears, such as gas and electric. So many of those people that have stopped paying their gas and electric, thinking that it's somehow free, are going to get a visit from one of these debt collectors when they owe lots of money to the supplier. They're very often called out to collect on loans, credit card debts, overdrafts, and other kind of monetary debt. Doubtless a select few people are going to think, hey, wait a minute, if the debt collector can't really do anything, then if I do stop paying for my gas and electricity, there's nothing the debt collector can really do about it. But hold the line just for a moment, because if the supplier goes to the county court to get a judgment against you for that amount, then it's going to be the bailiffs that come to collect the debt. Because at that stage, it will be a CCJ, a county court judgment, and then the bailiffs can come and they can remove goods such as your car and other possessions that they might then be able to sell to repay the debt. But even then, it's not quite as straightforward as that. Before a bailiff visits, they should be giving you 7 clear days before the visit is set, with a notice of enforcement. And realistically, this is going to give you 9 to 10 days before they actually visit to try to make some kind of arrangement to pay in installments or the full amount before the bailiffs visit. Once they arrive, the bailiffs can come into your house through the front or the back door, but they cannot use force and should introduce themselves as bailiffs when they arrive. They also cannot come into your home if there's a child under the age of 16 alone on the premises. However, there is one exception to the use of force. If a bailiff is coming to collect criminal fine, then they can enter your home by force, although this should be a last resort and isn't used very often. Similarly, bailiffs from HM Revenue and Customs can also enter your home by force if they are collecting tax debts. And of course, before doing so, they would have obtained an order from the court. Also important to remember is that bailiffs have the utmost power to enter by force for a business premises. So if you are self-employed at the premises, they may well be able to break in. So coming back to debt collectors and many people confusing debt collectors with bailiffs, debt collectors do not possess any legal power compared to bailiffs whatsoever. They can only come in if you invite them in, and they can't remove your goods, and all they can really do is ask you for a form of payment or to establish a repayment plan. But of course, if you find yourself in the position with any debts whatsoever, particularly taxes and CCJs and criminal fines, please do seek help as soon as you can, because it's only going to get worse if you ignore it. But in the meantime, please like this video and subscribe if my videos are useful, and of course, thank you for watching.